welcome to stream. Yeah, alrighty. What do I want to fly out of? God, this game is it's taking a while tonight. Don't know why. But it is. I would not be surprised if it crashes here. Alright. It's gonna get shut down. Let's shut down. It's end task. There it goes. And say we're gonna play it again. And hopefully it actually loads decently fast. Yeah, right. I see no game. I know. I know. It's having to reload. Taking forever. ILMG. Deeming a hydrate. How are you doing, LMG? I'm currently waiting for this game to reload because it decided to freeze on a loading screen. All right, that's a little bit faster. All right, let's go free flight. About to get ready for bed. Where do I want to fly? That's new. That seemed new at least. I can fly a Jetson 1. P-51, PC-12. They have a bunch of those red and yellow water planes keep taking off and landing at our airport lately. Are there wildfires nearby? That would be the either the Vikings or the air tractors, I think. Air tractors. AT-802. Flying Albatross. A320neo, A310, A321, A330. I don't know if there are fires. Maybe drilling for practice, probably. Getting into summer months, do it before the fires hit. I think I'm gonna fly the A400. Just screw it. Livery, there's a default fuel. I'm gonna get this thing decently full. All right, flying the A400. Where are we flying out of? Too bad. You could fly the Spruce. I have issues with this unless they changed it since the last one. Maybe if this thing loads. Unless they changed it since the last one, I had issues with this Spruce. Where is it? Sorry, not the Spruce, the Hercules. They have the Hercules, not the Spruce Goose. I was thinking whatever. But that one, I've had issues with the Hercules, just not wanting to do anything. Yeah. All right, let's see. A400. Let's go out of a tiny little short airfield just because we can. GA small, GA small. Let's go out of the circle. See if we can get out of this. Too bad you couldn't fly this Bruce Goose. Yeah. Don't really have one on here. Let's go 8 a.m. Start flight. We're gonna go VFR. So this is the airfield that I learned how to fly in for my private, at least, and a lot of instrument when we lived down in Florida. We don't live here anymore, but I actually used to live literally the golf course on the left side of the screen there. I used to live across the street from that on the south side of that road that goes across. It's a nice short runway, tightly packed. Our standard approaches would be we had noise abatement on the west side, so the left side there, So we would always fly over the other side, more the industrial area. So coming in, we would cross over midfield from this point of view, from left to right, and then either turn left or right to join the downwind for either direction runway. It was tight airspace too, so you really had to make a turn. Whew, that is a big airplane on this. This is gonna be... Alright. Don't have any chocks in or anything like that as far as I can see. So let's go shift C. Okay, looks like all of this is gonna fly that elephant. Yeah, the A400 Airbus. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on ground power is available, and we're gonna go ahead and go. Where are the batteries on this one? Electric bat 1 is off, off, off. Okay, so all the batteries are on. External power's on. Let's go ahead and get master APU on and start it up. And we'll go just nav on. None of those are required right now. Go ahead and align our IRSs. And we can turn on all of our fuel pumps. Fuel pumps are on. Hydraulic, engine. All of that's fine. Test those. Looks good. That doesn't test. Just to find out what caused that helicopter to lose its tail sight. It looked... I'm not here to speculate on that necessarily, but it looked, and I've seen some things about the entire rotor actually coming undone. I mean, it could have been if it chopped the tail off in the process, and just that collision caused the rotor to come off. Then it could have just been the rotor flexed too far and impacted the tail, causing major issues. I mean, it's just terrible accident all around, because there's nothing the pilot could do at that point. Once it happened, and there's nothing. Obviously, you have no control of a helicopter at that point, which is why I'm good on not flying helicopters, at least, in real life. Okay, let's see here. You have no auto rotate. You have nothing. That's your bank. That's your tail's off. That's your yaw. That's your pitch. That is everything flight control and power all together in one. And if you lose that, like they did, you're done. I mean, you're along for a ride in a metal shell at that point, is what it is. All right, so we have APU is available. External power off. APU bleed is on. And cross feeds auto. We have air conditioning, pack 1, pack 2. All right. Those are aligning. Let me go ahead and do... They're aligning. We're going to go KCLW to... I'm surprised that 2 of the passengers were alive post-crash despite later dying in the hospital. Were they? Really? God. Can you imagine making it through that just to die? That's terrible. go. I don't know. Go down to Sarasota. You have a co-pilot. Apparently, I have a co-pilot. This is a military plane. Why aren't you looking? Oh, it's the Air Force. Got it. We're going down to Sarasota. We'll go 5,000 feet. Altitude. Yeah, we're going short range. IRSs are aligning. Available in 1 minute. Cool. Departure. Don't really need anything. Don't really need anything. Nothing like that. Takeoff performance. Actually, let's go. Initialization. Let's go fuel and load. What do we have on board here? Ground. First off, I don't want a GP one, and I don't need chocks in. Fuel and payload. What do I have? I have way too much. What do I have? Fuel? Cargo. Fuel on board 48 tons. Let's take like 10,000 pounds of cargo with like 50 people. 51 people, and we'll load it up. What do I need for this thing? I definitely don't need 40. I'm gonna put 20,000 on and see what we have. $20.4. 20.4 tons. Okay. Zero fuel weight is 104.9. Zero fuel CG is zero fuel weight CG is 20. That 28.7. That's 28.7. Block fuel 20.4. I don't know. Estimated fuel on board 20.1. It's gonna take 0.3. Okay. Let's make sure we're gonna be able to make it off. Take off. Toga. We're gonna go Toga. Let's go flight plan. Let's go no manual flap wheel. Manual flap wheel. This is an Airbus, bro. We got that. And trim is, well, that. It's an Airbus. Everything's automatic. Let's go initialization, maybe. Trim. I mean, yeah. No, trim is trim's not. I think that's the trim wheel. I mean, even in an Airbus A320, the trim wheel is typically somewhere nearby here, but not in this thing. This thing is just non-existent. Okay. We're gonna go out runway 16. We're gonna go to the north. Takeoff performance. Flaps 1, 3. I don't know how long it's gonna take us to accelerate. Ever listen to ATC versus pilot chatter and see how funny it is when they start fighting over it? I've heard it in real life. I have also once called a pilot stupid. No, sorry, a controller stupid. It's great. It's great when you accidentally do something like that. Wind is not applicable. Performance is in, and flight plan is, well, it's in there. We're gonna try this thing. All right, set this to 5,000. That is set, and I don't know if I can actually click it in. Flight director's on. We're gonna go off of a heading 160, just for runway heading. And we're gonna go 250 knots. V1 is going to be V1 is 129, rotate is 129, and 137 is our V2 speed. We're gonna go ahead and get everything started up here, and then we will be probably ready to go. Oh, real quick. Rudder controls tiller, no. And is throttle actually set? What do I have set here real quick? Controls. 4-engine AMEL. Okay. And then we have reverse. Okay. Units. I guess kilos. Real. Auto tiller disconnect, yes. Link instruments, sure. That all works. Chocks are already out. Brakes are set. We are going to go ahead and get this thing fired up here real quick. Let's go ahead and turn beacon. We'll do both on, and ignition start. APU bleeds on. Packs are gonna come off for now. Go ahead and fasten seatbelt lights on. And looks good from my house. Let's go ahead and flip on. We'll start number 4 first. Oh, there's a helo here. All right, engine's coming alive. And it's available. We're still spooling up. Parking brake radar is off. Ignition, TCAS standby, and APU bleed. Speed brakes. Okay. F3 for 29.7. .5 up is what it wants. 1.5 nose up. Good to me. All right, engine stable. Let's go ahead and flip on number 3. And we'll just verify gen is on and bleed is on too. All right. Just gonna press comma just to set, and we're gonna set this to inches of mercury. Make it English. English. All right. Engine stable. We'll go 2. This is gonna be fun. So, it's actually something interesting. Looks like these two are counter-rotating, and these two are probably going to be the same counter-rotating. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Spoilers are disarmed. Engine started. Let's go 1. And then we'll start moving here in a second. I'm going to go ahead and turn the packs back on too. We have gens all out. Fuel pumps are all on. IRS is fully loaded. Repeats on auto. Everything's off. Everything looks good. Alright, we'll go ahead and turn our strobe all the way on. Runway turn off, taxi, landing light. Everything is coming on just for now. Engine starts all good. Go ahead and turn the APU off and the bleed off for that, as well as the gen. Can you get in trouble with the FAA if you call an ATC stupid? They might give you a number to call just to try and fight, but no, that's technically not against the FARs. So, I mean, you might get a slap on the wrist because of professionalism and stuff, but there's really nothing about FARs. All right, we're gonna try this in third person because this is gonna be a tight turn. Alright, I'm gonna back up, get my rudder pedals ready just for the brakes. Then I have a steering axis on my yoke. Ready? Parking brake should be off. Parking brake should be off. Why is this not? Oh my gosh, because they're feathered. And there we are on actual run. Just don't be like American Airlines and rub your wings with other planes, right? Okay, so we should start rolling here. And the ground guy is chopped up. He's liver paste now. And we're making this tight turn. Sending it into the grass. Somebody watch our wing. Alright, we're good. We're okay, we're just going in the grass. This thing's made to land on grass, it's fine. It's fine, ignore the major mark in the grass. Ignore the skid marks, it's fine. Oh yeah, we have that. Alright. We're rolling. Let's go. God, I need to set flaps. Flaps should go. I have no idea how the jump in aviation accidents are so much more frequent lately. Okay. Let me get something straight, because a lot of people said that back in March. They were saying that back in March. And it's not true. It's not true. So the reason you're seeing aviation accidents or a jump in them is because the news is focused on it. In March, if you were to look at NTSB data in terms of accidents, American accidents at least, aviation accidents, January and February have, over the past, God, I think it's over a decade, 2007, since 2007 or so, January and February of this year have been the two safest months on record, period. Let that sink in just for a minute. February had less than one accident per day, which sounds, terrible the way it is, but when you compare it to 3 or 4 accidents a day on average, in fact, I'm going to look this up and pull it up. Let me see. Is it dashboard? Yearly and monthly totals. Yeah. Whew. This is going to really shock you. Okay. Let me pull up Chrome here. And hopefully... Okay. I want you to see this. 2000... No, it goes back. 1982 is how far we have the NTSB. We have a few before that, but 1982 is where we have records for NTSB. Look at the number of accidents. This is year going across and month. This is the number of accidents investigated by the NTSB. That's hundreds of accidents a month. The lowest you get before 2000 is 96 right here. Right here. Okay. 2006 comes along. We have 100. You know, in the range of 100 to 200. 91 being the low one. Okay. Anything from 2024 before all the way back to like 07, the lowest number you see, I see 68 in a month. Compare that. Okay, February, they actually added incidents or accidents that were not reported. It was less than 1 per month. But January is 75. 75. We have not broken 100 yet this year of reported accidents. This has been the safest year for aviation on record with the NTSB. Now, February, I did mention that it had fewer than 1 per day. It literally had like 25 or 26. This number, I don't know if they update it to add foreign country reports. I'm not sure about that. In fact, let's see. This page shows the number of U.S. civil aviation accidents occurring each month from 1964 to present. In March, when I last looked at this, there was only like 26 or 7. But that number there is stupid low. So overtime, maybe, yes. Yes. God, yes. We have 2008, 2009. There's been a couple months where there's 200. I think 222 in 2017, 202. We've barely been breaking 200s since like 04. And I mean, this is all over 100. Period. Until you get to 2010s. Then we get 80 to 90 sometimes. And now we're in the 70s. And so far, we've only had 1 a day in April so far reported. Now this is reported and investigated and all that. But and numbers can update later. But I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. They really do. Because I saw a post that pulled this page up when people said that exact thing of there's so many aviation accidents. Well, no, there's not. People just, they're seeing it in the news. Look, the lowest year really that we've had recently, like overall, is 2020. And guess what wasn't happening? The media is over dramatizing every time. Every time. But 2020, when COVID shut everything down and slowed down airlines and aviation, period, we had fewer accidents because less people were doing stuff. I mean, most of these numbers, I'll tell you this right now, most of these numbers, when it comes to accident, so an accident, first off, is defined by the NTSB. An accident is defined as an incident that results in substantial damage to the aircraft, where like major repairs have to be made, or it's a total loss, one of the two. Substantial damage is done to the aircraft, or serious injury occurs, and it goes down to break down serious injury like broken bones and damage to organs and burns that cover so much, or second or third degree burns or whatever. It breaks all that down. But this is accidents. Every accident has to be immediately reported to the NTSB. They don't always investigate every accident, typically, not to a full extent. They might, a lot of these numbers could be inflated for Alaska. Alaska doesn't report hardly anything until after the fact. But this is everything. This is not airlines, right? So injury level, I mean, we could look at fatal accidents. This is anything that anyone's died in. There's less than half the month. Half an accident per day. I mean, versus back here we were doing about 2 a day, right? So anything where an airplane crashed, let's say and it has to be between boarding and vacating an airplane, pretty much, for the purpose of making a flight. That's an accident. If you're just taxiing around the ramp, just doing maintenance stuff, and you hit something, that's not an accident, because you weren't going to make a flight. So, this is just anything. I mean, a lot of these could have happened on the ground, where they hit something and caused substantial damage to the airplane. Airplanes running into each other. They boarded for the purpose of making a flight, and they hit something, and it caused a point where they need to substantial damage was done. Delta CRJ getting its tail taken off, that's substantial damage. That is an accident. It is. It's, the numbers don't lie. And you compare that to how many accidents are on the road. There's hundreds of accidents a day on the road. But aviation, there's maybe 100 a month. And it might not even be very serious. It's just substantial damage. So, yeah, I mean, people say that, oh, it's there's so many accidents recently. There's so much this, that, the other. It's, especially when you start working in aviation, or if you start flying or anything like that, you really get to see how bogus it is that the media pushes that sort of thought. So, yeah, it's just media being media, blowing everything up. So, all right, we're going to take off here. Now, I will say, the the DC crash between a CRJ and a Blackhawk, that has been one of the first fatal airline crashes since, God, what was the last fatal one in the US, at least? God, it's been probably more than a decade. When was the last fatal one? Hell, it was okay. It was before Sully. I know that much. Was the last fatal airline accident in the U.S. All right. All right, let's see here. Ground spoilers are armed. Auto brake is RTO. Continental flight in 09 out of Jersey. Yeah, that sounds about right. It's been a while since we've had a fatal since we've had a fatal airline accident in the United States specifically. We've had incidents and we've had other accidents, but none of them have been fatal. That is the big part of that. Flaps take off, flaps 3, right? Our flaps actually there. Flaps are 3. Okay, that's good enough. Standing on the brakes. Toga. Manual toga. Sustain. They're climbing. And release the brakes. We are manual toga. Airspeed's alive. $80 knots. V1, rotate. Pause the rate, gear up. $400 Flaps are coming up. Pulling it back to climb. Nosing it over. Flaps are still coming up. And they're coming up all the way. Autopilot. We are on heading mode. And let's go ahead and turn it left. Come on. Oh, I took off out of... We're going left. Alrighty. Cool. Flaps are up. Throttle is auto throttle. 250 knots. Actually, we're below the shelf of Bravo. We should be going like 200. But we're not going to talk about that. Yeah, we'll pull it back to 200. And we'll go ahead and kick the speed brakes out. We'll go 180 for now. All right. We're in the A400. Cruising along. One that made me nearly sick was that air show in Dallas. That is bad coordination. The air show was really bad coordination. The air boss, I don't even remember exactly whose fault it was. There's a designated coordination between like the air boss who's managing the whole show operation, and you're also supposed to have debriefs and all beforehand and briefings about exactly where you're supposed to be and all that. And it ended up that the Cobra, the 63, was making a turn and just did not see the B-17 and impacted. I think it was on part of the air boss a decent bit, just because he was supposed to make sure that they were fine, they were clear, all of that, but he didn't. So that's what happens when you don't pay attention. All right, let's see here. Arrival, we'll go, I think it's 1-4 is the one coming in here. ILS 1-4. Let me pull this thing up for flight. SRQ. I'm actually surprised this thing, by the way. I'm really surprised the thing took off out of clear water. That's like a 3,000 foot runway, if that. Approach ILS 1-4. We can go. Maybe we could go to Frugal. You would think that a pilot would be relying on VFR and could have evaded. The B-17 was not focused on a plane coming off its left rear. First off, they weren't focused on it. The entire time that P-63 the entire time that P-63 was turning, they would have been to the left rear of the B-17 cockpit. They wouldn't have seen it. The P-63 was in a turn, which not to be rude or anything, but I can't see through the floor. Helicopters have glass windows on the floor for landing. Uh, Airplanes don't. So when you're in a turn, he was in a good turn too. He was at like 60 degrees of bank. I mean, that's just like, I'm gonna kick this autopilot off. That's just like saying that doing like this number and I can see a plane off my nose. Like, I could try to. But like, if so, I'm holding altitude here. If that B-17 the entire time I'm doing this is like in relation to where I'm looking is like where the rudder pedals are, VFR is only going to do so much. And you're thinking, oh, maybe he knew the B-17 was there and he was going to meet, sort of form up on him. Well, if that's the case, then in this turn he was expecting to roll out on the desired heading with the B-17 in his blind spot, but I can't see that unless I have things. The Cobra didn't even see him. No, because the whole time he would have been like over here to the Cobra, and you can't see through the airplane. So he probably was expecting to roll out and have the B-17 like right there, be formed up like right on his flank. But in the meantime, the turn was a little too fast and therefore a little wide. So he just ended up going straight into him. And I mean, it's terrible. So anyways, accelerated stall. Recovery, nose over, and then fixed bank. And this thing does alpha floor on me. Yeah. Let's see how fast this thing can go. Yeah, I don't think the Cobra saw him. I don't think the B-17 saw the Cobra either. It's the way it sort of is. Because you got to think, as the B-17 was coming up to him, his nose was ahead of the B-17 the entire time because he sort of hit him with his belly. So the nose was ahead of the B-17. He probably didn't see the B-17 until he was under the wing. And at that point, it was way too late. So I mean, that's how. Remember my first forced stall by an instructor. I peed myself. Stall's really not that bad. If you get to like my level, where I'm a commercial pilot, commercially rated pilot. When you get to my level, it's meh. I mean, it's just a little drop. The fun part is if you start doing flight instructor rating and all, then you end up having to do a spin. See if I can roll this thing. Oh, it won't let me. Oh, I'm full stick. Oh, I'm full stick. This thing's not actually stalling. Hey, let's aircraft carrier this thing. Let's aircraft carrier this thing. All right. Yeah. I know. I know. Shut up. Okay, so this is Albert Whitted Airport in St. Pete. It is right off downtown, literally right on the water. We are going to drop it in like nobody's business. Speed brakes are out. Throwing some flaps in. Putting gear down. And we're gonna go high. And we're also gonna arm them here in a second. Flaps. All gears down. Flap 3. Flap floor. Flaps full. Ground spoilers. Armed. I don't know where this thing is. It's over that way.
Seat rate 1,000. Seat rate.
I didn't want to drop it in this much. Where is this thing? Where is this thing?
Seat rate.
Yep, I know Syncrate.
400. Pull up. 300.
Okay.
Pull up.
I totally stalled this thing.
Seat rate 100. 50. 30. 110.
Oh, I'm smashing it!
Seat rate 50. 20.
Syncrate, really? Okay, let's see what I can throw in here. I'm gonna try something with some fun stalls that are unprotected. Let's see here. I can do a pits. Nice little ultralight. Let's do a cub. I know that the Piper is in here. T6 Texan. That would be fun. That'd be really fun. 152. There we go. The Piper in here? Thought it was. Look up IVR sometime. Inverted vertical reverse skull maneuver. Is that they have a 185 now? Nice. Oh, there's that. Is that like a hammerhead? That's like a hammerhead that I'm gonna take. Something that I know can do a hammerhead. I mean, I know an extra 300 can, but that's a lot of horse for that, for a basic hammerhead. X Cub could do it. 185 might. Let's do. Good. Let's send it in the Cub. Figure. No, I don't want it on skis. I just want it. Oh my god, you can put big wheels on it. Hell yeah. Livery. Let's go. Back arrow. Yes. Yes. Fuel. We'll go ahead and top her off. It's only got like 276 pounds. What is that? 50 gallons? Something like that. 48 gallons. That sounds about right. All right, let's go back down to Clearwater. We got a lot of water down there that we can do. Start flight. IVR, inverted vertical reversement. F-35. Evasive maneuver. Huh. Nice. Pull stick back into your gut and snap full bottom rudder to rudder downwards. Snap full bottom rudder to rudder downwards. And let the motor torque spin the plane 180 degrees, changing the plane's direction. Then full stick forward to neutralize the inertia. So the only thing I see wrong with that is momentum. That's the biggest issue, which, I mean, a Cub might be able to do it. a Cub is probably going to be the one to do it. All right, that all look good. Everything back here look good, guys? That all looks good. Yep, that all looks fine. All right, Shift C. Ads. All right, full fine, mixture, and throttle. All right. First thing is we're going to turn the master on. Next thing we're going to do alt field on. Ignitions and fuel pumps. We're going to turn. We're going to do that. Avionics master. We're going to go strobe nav, and we'll say okay. That's fine. Starter. All right, back to 1,000 RPM. We're gonna lean it on the ground a little bit. All right, cool. Set that. There it goes. Fuel pump, fuel pressure drops. Fuel pressure comes up. Let's go ahead and do a run up. Right off, drops, on, back up, left off, drops, on, back up, hard idle. Stays alive. Alrighty. Alright, we're gonna do a fun takeoff today. We're gonna do a stupid short takeoff, probably not even from the runway. Yeah, alright. Turn around here. We're going to take an intersection departure on this one. Everything full forward. We're ready to go. Rip it off the ground. Climb away. Yeah, alright, we're climbing. Alright. So first off, we talk about typically a power on stall. I like to say power on stalls are when you have your power in, let's say you're climbing, and you just pitch up way too much, and you just hold it. So we'll pitch up for an attitude where we lose speed, and we're just gonna hold it, right? So we're at 15 now. We're gonna pitch up to about 17 to 20. Just hold it. You just hold it. You just hold it. And you wait for it to break. You stay coordinated while you hold it. You just hold it. This thing just wants to climb. And it nose up just a little bit more. You just hold it. Like you're looking out outside. You're just like, oh, what's that tree over there? I've never seen that tree before. You're just trying, and you're completely ignoring this freaking beep. You know? God, this thing does not want to stall. Typically on a power off or a power on, you gotta like rip it and it'll stall. There it goes. Okay. So when we do spins, we typically do that. Except for you kick the rudder. Except for this thing doesn't want to fucking spin. There we go, into a roll. Nope. I just pulled everything out. I crashed. Let's say we feather this prop on accident. I have fuel out, so I have no go around. See, no response. I'm gonna decide that I want to land on the beach. Let's go to the beach. Beach. Let's go get away. Now in real life, if you actually did this, you'd want to aim for the deserted part of the beach, which is further on down, but I don't have the energy to do that. I might. Who knows? Here, we're gonna go for the beach. So we're just maintaining 70 some odd knots. Big flaps. 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 Okay. Yep, that is one way to crash an airplane. Is nose down. All right. See what else we got here. Sort of want to buzz through. Let's see, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? No, there's a Grumman goose. um, let's see here. We can take the F-18 out for a spin. Go really stupid fast. Fly around New York. Um, let's go out of Tampa International. See how this is. I don't know if I've flown out of Tampa in this one. I have in the other one. It's really messed up. Yeah, it's messed up there. I'm ready to fly. Alright, they changed everything. Gotta pull everything off. Gotta pull all the engine covers off. Gotta pull all the pins from everything. No hard points? Not my airplane. This is my airplane. Ooh, get a real good look at those engines. Might want to pull those gear pins. I don't know, they can be a little important. Alright, let's get up in here. Yeah, alrighty. I already know how to mostly do this thing. We're gonna go First off, electric, we're gonna go battery on and flip the gens onto norm. We're gonna come over here to ground power. Go auto, auto, auto. All right, launch bar is retracted. Flaps are retracted. Landing lights off. Skid, anti-skid's off. Parking brake is set. And let's go ahead and flip the APU to the on position. Let it start up. Norm. Alright, APU is ready, so we're gonna go external power off. Alright. Armed. On. They really overdid this thing. Normal. RTS is auto. All right. Go ahead and crank the right engine. And 20%. Introduce fuel. Bingo is much less than that. Bingo is 1.5. Mode C. Do that. And 15% introduce fuel. There's a Premiere over there. They have that thing modeled wrong. They have that wrong. They have a fourth window. The fourth window in a Premiere is fake. It's a decal. I shouldn't be able to see through that. Okay. Got those. Gonna go flaps. Half. Anti-skid on. Landing light and all on. Alright. Nose wheel steering is not working. Sensor. IFF, ILS. Antenna select. Fuel as like electric ground power, interwing, dentai, lighting, electrical, ECS, instrument lights, refuel panel. Come on, turn. This thing will not steer. Okay, okay. We're practically at bingo fuel now. All right. We are kicking. Speed brakes on. Well, actually, I'm gonna zoom along. This is the Courtney Campbell Causeway. I used to drive it to and from work fairly regularly. God, I don't even know what I was saying. Fuel low. Bingo low. Fuel low. burn through the rest of it real quick. So we ain't got no more. And one engine flame out. And so did the other one. Oh god, dead stick, I have no... Oh god, there's no hydraulic. There's no hydraulic. Nope. We're going down. Flaps malfunction. Really? Alright. Well, thank you guys for watching. LMG, thank you for joining tonight. I will see you guys next time. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.